What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois claims that now Billy Joe Saunders may have learned a life lesson after his quitter jibe came back to bite him in the Canelo loss. And this is what Daniel Dubois had to say. He said he was making it awkward in there. I thought Billy did well, and he was a good fight up until that point. I had to effing go through it as well, didn't I? He made his decision really quickly, but I'm not going to rub it in for Billy. But maybe he will regret what he said about me. Maybe this might teach him a lesson. It could be a life lesson, claims Daniel Dubois. Now, you know, Daniel Dubois suffered that defeat by Joe Joyce, first loss, and the same man that had a fight called on him was the same guy that ridiculed him on the way he stopped the fight due to the injury. I think at the end of the day, Daniel Dubois had to say something else besides what he said at the end of the day. Daniel Dubois was the guy that initially, you know, I mean, it wasn't too bad, but initially it was basically like, hey, I think he did well. I'm not going to rub it in. I've learned my lesson. Now, Daniel Dubois is stating, hey, hopefully Billy Joe has learned his lesson. And the irony of this is exactly what my counterpunch was when I heard Daniel Dubois say this the first time. You know, I wonder what Billy Joe will say and what approach he will, or what words that he will use to describe his current state of him criticizing other people. Will he remain the same? Will he be that same Billy Joe Saunders, or did Canelo do something to him that he's never had done to him before, and therefore he will have a totally different mindset? Was he like a Mike Tyson before Lennox Lewis or after Lennox Lewis? Because before Lennox Lewis, he was, you know, I'm a conqueror, you know, my style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable, right? I want to eat his kids. Okay. But after that, he was rubbing the face off of him, and then he beat my ass. Will Billy Joe have that type of attitude? Similar, you know, because one thing's for sure. Daniel Dubois has had his pound of flesh. He's had that ass whooping, okay? He's got that out of the way, so I think he can improve. I think the best thing for him is to take that loss. I think the best thing for a lot of people is to take a loss so they can learn from what they made, the mistakes they made before, so they can improve. You know, instead of thinking that they're this or they're that, then they're really not there where they think they're there, and they're not there yet. I think that's what that is, and I think Daniel Dubois learned that lesson. But he's absolutely right. Hopefully Billy Joe has learned that in certain situations, it doesn't matter who you are, you can get injured, or you can get to a point where you just can't continue. Regardless of how you quit, I think people's perception of quit means something undesired or not honored. But at the end of the day, it's smart if something's wrong with you that will allow you to take permanent damage. Boxing should be, people, a temporary length of time for any person, whether you're a male, female, or whatever. You're supposed to only do that for a duration of time, not your whole life. It doesn't mean your whole life. It doesn't define you. People might recognize you as this champion or whatever, but is that your life? Using the words of Andre Ward, this is something that I do now, but is this something that I always will do? No. So needless to say, if you have that type of mindset on how things work, and you know that one day you will not be relevant, you will not be the best, you will not be the fastest, the strongest, the whatever, the most gifted, the talented, you won't be that. So at the end of the day, you should know that, hey, this is only temporary. And Daniel Dubois is learning that, hopefully, like he hopes Billy Joe Saunders believes that. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Daniel Dubois you know, stating his desires and wishes on Billy Joe Saunders. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.